Hello everybody, this is Nick from PressStarComic.com and Arcade-Hunters.com coming to you with the very first episode of Arcade Hunters Home Port Reviews, and today I'm going to be checking out Q Bert from Ultra Games, otherwise known as Konami, and this version of Q Bert came out in 1989 for the Nintendo Entertainment System. And the original version of Q Bert came out in 1982 from Gottlieb, who was originally making pinball machines. And they decided to get in the video game industry, and Q Bert was their fourth video game and one of their most successful video games that they made. And the original game was programmed by Warren Davis and Jeff Lee. And they created the game first thinking that they were going to have the character Q Bert run around and shoot projectiles out of his nose, and they called the game Snots and Boogers. But they decided on just making it into this maze game, as you see, and came up with the name Q Bert, and that's what they used for it. And this was one of my very favorite games growing up as a kid. I remember going into the arcade and playing it with my father holding me up to the console, and just the bright yellow cabinet with all the weird characters on it. And a lot of people that are my age will probably remember the Saturday Supercade on CBS, where they had a Q Bert cartoon in it, along with Frogger, Donkey Kong, and Donkey Kong Jr., and I'm not sure of the other one, but I really remember the Q Bert version because Q Bert was like a 1950s kid, and the Ugg and Wrong Way and Coily were some greasers, and I think Slick and Sam were brothers. So, onto the Nintendo version. Now, this version, for me, after playing the PS1 remake, the control in it is very, very stiff, and that makes it a lot harder. So, as you'll see throughout this video, I die a couple times, and I actually had to restart the game, and that just makes it a little hard. That the, also, that Ugg and Wrong Way, who are the two purple characters that come up from the bottom, they're supposed to come out in this round, in round 3. In this version, they come out in round 2, which completely surprised me, and they ended up killing me a couple times. But the other thing that the game is lacking is there's no digitized voice samples, which in the arcade game were all in gibberish, but they alerted you to when Ugg and Wrong Way were coming out, and also when Slick and Sam were going to come out from the top of the machine. Also, that when you fell off the pyramid, Q Bert has this little whoa sound that he makes, as well as the sound of the splat that Coily makes. You're gonna hear it right now. It doesn't. He doesn't really make the splat. He makes a nice when he hits the floor. Now, this game was also remade a few years ago on the PlayStation 3, and I had the chance to play the PlayStation 3 port over at the Digital Press NAVA meeting, and I was really surprised with the quality of the port. So whoever did that port of Q Bert, hats off to you guys. You did a really good job on it. Now, Q Bert also spawned 2 sequels as well as a pinball machine. And the pinball machine was called Q Bert's Quest, and unfortunately they have a Q Bert's Quest at FunSpot, but it has not worked, and they have not had it there. I think they put it back in the storage, so I really hope they get it back working. But the one version that, the one sequel, I should say, that the people will know is Q Bert's Cubes. That is also one of the hardest to own games on the Atari 2600. The home port is very hard to come by. And Q Bert's Quest, or Q Bert's Cubes, worked like a puzzle game where Q Bert would run around on the traditional pyramid, as you're seeing, but you would have to flip these blocks around into like the 3rd dimension to make them match to what the computer told you to match it to. And when you did that, you could make a tic-tac-toe, and that would go on to complete a tic-tac-toe, and I think you'd have to do 1, 2, or 3, depending on the level, and then it would take you on to a bonus level where you had to flip the bricks around as fast as you could to complete as many as you could to get a final bonus. Now, I also had, when I was a kid, I had a lot of the Q Bert toys. I had the big Q Bert doll that had a squeaky nose on him. I also had a whole set of the plastic PVC figurines, and I had a little wind-up Q Bert, because I remember taking that to school for preschool show and tell. I remember taking that with me. I also had I think Ugg and Wrong Way, Slick and Slam, Q Bert on a disc, and also Q Bert with coily wrapped around him with a very angry look on his face. So those are some of my old toys that I really wish I still had. Unfortunately, I don't have them anymore due to a house fire, which you'll be seeing one of my other games, unfortunately, does not work anymore. But pretty much just, I really love this game. It's, a lot of people complain that it is too hard, and there was another version that was going to come out in 1983. The creator, Warren Davis, was actually creating another game called Faster, Harder, More Challenging Q Bert. And that game, unfortunately, never made it to the arcades, but thankfully for MAME, he released the ROM of it, so if you have MAME, you can go online and download Faster, Harder, More Challenging Q Bert, and it is exactly what the title says. It is about 10 times faster when the game starts. I think it starts like kind of like level 3. It has that type of speed if you guys have played Q Bert before. Also that the spinning discs, as you see, go up and down the screen, so you have to time it when they appear and reappear, because you can end up jumping into nowhere and falling right off the stage. And there's also a new enemy called Q Bertha, who's like a female version of Q Bert that wants to grab Q Bert just as much as Coily does, and she'll come after you and grab you. And there's the green slime that freezes everything. Fortunately, I wasn't able to get it. And here's the Q Bert. Hopefully, we'll be bringing you the arcade version of Q Bert. If we go back to arcade, they have the profanity banner, which is, instead of saying Q Bert, it just has Q Bert cursing on it. So if you ever see that, it's a good version. And thank you very much for watching the first video. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back with another one.